When someone retires from a job that has such a long history of accomplishments and overcoming adversity as Dave's has, it's important to understand the full scope of how he got where he did and what kinds of things needed to be overcome to reach those accomplishments and goals. Life is almost never what we planned, but those who are successful do so in spite of changes, challenges, and roadblocks that would stand in the way of lesser men. Those who are truly successful do so by making hard decisions and many times sacrificing popularity for the greater good of those he serves. Such is the case of great men like Abraham Lincoln, Thomas Edison, Franklin Roosevelt, Winston Churchill, and well, yes, even Dave's favorite NFL quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. All of these great men were underrated, scoffed at, and even reviled as they worked hard to do the right thing in spite of public ridicule. Dave, not so much, but you get the picture. Almost all of these men overcame shortcomings and adversity to accomplish great things. Lincoln, Roosevelt, and Churchill saved the countries they served. Rodgers saved a franchise. And Dave, well, it could be said, saved Shadow Hills Country Club at a time when other clubs failed, withered, and died. Edison, well, yeah, he was wrong about electricity and was kind of a jerk, so let's take him out of the mix. Oh yeah, so the comparisons to those who saved countries may be a bit robust, but you get my drift here. Dave was an innovator, a stalwart, determined leader, a guy who overcame the challenges presented to him. All of these great men came from challenging backgrounds. Almost none of them planned to become who they became, often with other career aspirations in mind, just like Dave. Born in Salem, Oregon, Dave had the same aspirations and dreams of many of us growing up in the 50s and 60s. Dave wanted to be a pro baseball player, or a pro basketball player, or a lawyer, or play first clarinet in the symphony. With a father who was a music teacher, Dave's genetics proved to be suited to the latter, and he did in fact excel at clarinet. Baseball and basketball, not so much. And like so many before him, we realized that the path of being a professional athlete to those sports seemed less than possible. He chose the next best thing: golf. He excelled at golf, with the apex of his career coming with the presentation of an award for his play at the Lake Oswego tournament. Yes, it was a handmade award on notebook paper, but it was signed by the coach and other officials, so it was a bona fide award, okay? Man. After graduating high school, he enrolled at Oregon College of Education, studying business and pre-law with the intention of becoming a lawyer. In his spare time, he continued to excel at golf, playing and lettering several years on the golf team, as well as working part-time at a local golf course and driving range. As with many who realize that becoming a lawyer takes additional years of graduate studies, passing the bar, and then practicing law for years before they can afford the time and money to play golf regularly, Dave chose the logical path. He gave up his dreams of being a lawyer and took on managing a small insurance agency. Forced to retire due to a neck injury from holding up the huge tie he wore trying to be stylish but professional, Dave once again veered back into the golf world, aspiring to become a person who teaches lawyers and insurance salesmen how to improve their games. Anyone who has taken this journey knows that it often requires years of stewardship at lesser positions before getting the chance to hang his PGA certificate in a country club of notable reputation. Dave was no different. The list of menial career-building jobs at career-building courses grew, with the process to get his Class A PGA certification being arduous and underpaid. Dave made extra cash on the side as a golf magazine model, but drew the line at full nudity. Finally, after passing the coursework and putting in 4 long years of stewardship at various PGA courses, he got his PGA Class A and began his ascent to the top of the food chain. Dave's first head pro job was at Echo Falls in Woodinville, Washington in April 1996. In that same year, he met the love of his life, a woman who added spark and luster and had the artistic talent to shape lumps of clay, like Dave, into works of art far beyond their original value. Let's face it, all great men have women behind them, shaping them into men who say things like, "You make me want to be a better man." FDR had Eleanor. Jay-Z has Beyonce. Heck, even Hitler had Eva. Now hold on, I know what you're thinking, but if Adolf had met Eva earlier in life, he might have remained a painter instead of, well, Hitler. But I digress. A guy like Dave, with the mind of a lawyer, determination of an NFL quarterback, and the social skills of a symphony clarinet player, needs someone to balance them out and keep things light. Jenny and Dave were married in September 1996, and the shaping, improving, and creating took off with an added energy and new opportunities. In June of 1999, Dave became head golf professional at Indian Summer Country Club in Olympia. Things changed quickly in the year 2000, under circumstances that to this day have not been completely explained. Dave was promoted to general manager of Indian Summer. In 2002, Dave and Jenny were hired as a general manager and assistant general manager, respectively, at at a huge resort in Blaine, Washington. There were two separate clubs to run, Semiahmoo and Loomis Trails. Physically, the two facilities were 4 miles apart. Members had playing privileges at both. The two 18-hole courses, the resort, the marina, the residential community were all their responsibility. It was a huge challenge, but Dave and Jenny threw themselves into the task, increasing both membership and revenues substantially. But being almost to the very tip of the northern border meant being far from family and friends back in Oregon. So when the opportunity came to take the job as general manager here in Eugene, Dave jumped at the chance. It is, however, a fact that when Dave and Jenny first drove into the parking lot at Shadow Hills, two important things happened. Jenny cried. Really cried. And Dave promised that he would build a new clubhouse and upgrade the facility. "We'll make it a country club, not just a club in the country," David said to us, stated loudly to anyone standing near the parking lot. Jenny still cried. The rest is history. Through the Shelton years at Shadow Hills, Dave and Jenny, along with the staff they built over the years, have helped the club grow and continue to improve from its humble beginnings as the second phase of a lumber company's cow pasture made into a golf course, then reshaped at great expense while ignoring the rough-hew, inadequate facility being hampered by a third-rate, leaking, uninhabitable clubhouse. Into an award-winning course, practice facility, clubhouse, wedding, and event center that is one of the finest in the Northwest. A clubhouse with multi-use ballroom with audio-video meeting rooms, formal dining facility with expanded kitchen and storage, expanded locker rooms, workout gym, expanded pro shop, 3 practice ranges, the second largest in the Northwest, McKay Teaching Center, plus weatherization improvements with track band technology, a new cart barn, pool improvements including changing room, snack bar, and a covered patio, cart path replacements and improvements, repaving of the north parking lot utility shed, in-house bunker hazard refurbishing redesign, which saved us hundreds of thousands, family teas, family camping area and campouts, wedding garden with a fountain, updating and moving tee boxes, updating and improving irrigation wells and pumps, the Filbert Orchard, which generates annual income, Autobahn facility certification, new entrance signs to Sovereign River Road, new landscaping at both entrances, paving of the River Road entrance, paving of the maintenance road, paving of the cart barn parking area, paving of the maintenance parking lot, developing the club mission statement, countless improvements to the grounds, plantings, and teeing area plantings. The list goes on and on and on. Incredible results, and yes, there were occasional perks for being a GM with PGA accreditation. He got to hang out on tour, even working closely with one of his contemporary idols. Then there were trips to major events with some of the board members that made his work easier. But make no mistake about it, the kind of person who gets this huge list of accomplishments done may indeed have had some of the traits of a lawyer. But in fact, his talents are closer to those of an NFL quarterback. Persistent, never give up, find a way to win, and then give credit to the team. But just like an NFL quarterback, people have no idea how much work and preparation go into making a long, successful career like Dave's. Through it all, Dave and Jenny made it look easy, but the range of talents and patience it takes to be a great general manager is often underrated. Beside the PGA accreditation, the day-to-day operations takes a wide range of hidden skills. As a way for people to understand just what goes into a single day in the life of a general manager, I took it upon myself a couple of years back to shadow Dave through Shadow Hills. The results were astounding. Starts every day in the early morning by answering voluminous emails from members and board members. Changes clothes to go fix the pool heater which has stopped working. Arriving back to his office to find a board member there with questions. Meeting with the Green Committee. Another meeting with a board member. Meeting with the Finance Committee. A quick meeting with Gary to figure out why he keeps writing about missing towels in the newsletter. A drop-in meeting with the head of the Finance Committee, checking out the weird smell in the men's locker room. Grabbing a bite of his lunch that has gone cold from too many drop-in meetings. Doing a tour of the club with some prospective members. A meeting with Laura about the financial report that Larry asked about. Interviewing 2 employee prospects for the pool snack bar. Checking on the progress of the next Crazy 8 and trying to figure out how to keep from expanding it beyond capacity. Another drop-in meeting with Gary about the missing towels. A quick drop-in meeting from the board president, checking on the watering and the weeding in the filbert orchard. One last meeting with a board member regarding the financial report, answering phone calls and asking Laura to tell people he isn't in. And at 4 p.m., finally escaping to his happy place, away from the computer, phones, and board members. Add to this days when he has to come back for a social function at the club, or is in charge of the sand and seed party, or welcoming people to a member event at the pool, or an after-hours social event where he is expected to be sociable after a day of managing budgets, staff, facilities, meetings, and long-term planning. And people wonder why Dave needs a happy place? With the hiring of Ryan and Dave retiring, staff and members alike are wondering where Dave is going to find his happy place. Those of us that know Dave know he will find a way. Don't be surprised if we end up having a new employee in the groundskeeping department. Not Dave, that would be weird. No, it may be a guy named Wilbur who just loves to drive the tractor in the tree trimming platform. Yeah, that's it. A new guy named Wilbur. As has been advised by most who have retired, it is best to make a clean break and get away for an extended period of time. But in the case of Shadow Hills, we know that getting away from the day-to-day when you live just minutes from the club will take a commitment to at least a temporary change of geography. Dave and Jenny are doing just that by embarking on a cross-country driving trip that will culminate in Green Bay, Wisconsin, so Dave can attend the shareholders meeting of the Green Bay Packers. Did I mention that Dave is a huge Packers fan? As in obsessed? As in a Packers shareholder? He also knows that while Tom Brady clearly doesn't understand the definition of retirement, he is overtly overjoyed that Aaron Rodgers is coming back for at least another 4 years. Aaron Rodgers, the exact model of the kind of guy who makes things work, gets things done, making up plays as he goes, just like Dave. And so in commemoration of Dave's retirement, along with his constant supporter and creative cohort Jenny, a group of past board presidents acquired these tokens of our appreciation. A signed Super Bowl MVP Aaron Rodgers jersey and a gift certificate to Gray's Gardens. We assume Dave will be wearing his Aaron Rodgers jersey at the shareholders meeting, and we know that Jenny will put her Gray's Garden gift certificate to good use, even if she has to get a helping hand from Wilbur.